Hand them up, scalpel. You looking at me, Dino?
We're losing adrenaline now.
You'll never amount to anything, Dynamite.
Everybody clear. You scum.
We've lost him.
Hello viewers. These blokes are not in fact the Channel 4 Complaints Department, nor are they models for Mr. Byright. They're all systems managers and they'll be getting smiled up for today's event. Before we get on to that though, a couple more letters here. One from Peter Ball in Surrey who says, "Dear Dominic, my mum says video games are bad for young people and she won't let me play them. What can I do?" Well, I would say, Peter, study Crime Watch carefully and see if you can fit her up for any crimes committed in your area, and that should keep her quiet for anything up to a 10-year stretch. Another letter here from Yvonne Kergill from Arbroath. Nice to get one from one of our lady viewers. "Dear Dominic, how do you get to appear on Gamesmaster?" Well, it's quite simple, Yvonne. Each year we hold auditions, and if you're very, very good at games, you're warm, you're witty, have a fantastic personality, we let you come on. If you don't, then you get your own chat show on daytime TV. Hope I've cleared some things up for everyone there. Right, as I said then, these blokes are not just here to set our female audience's pulses a pumping. They are going to be participating in an event we like to call Oi, Broken Suit, Fancy a Fight?
I've always had a soft spot for champs, and I'm going to indulge it today as I put a champion Doom player through his paces. Our contestant must enter a deathmatch arena in which 3 other players are waiting to dispatch him. 3 against 1 are the kind of odds only a champ could deal with, and he'll need nerves of steel if he's going to send them all to their doom.
Well, basically, Gary, Simon and John here are cannon fodder for our champion. But, Gary, I mean, you guys play Doom in the office, yeah?
Yeah.
How much of your day does it take up?
Oh, probably at least an hour an evening.
That's all? Not more than that?
Yeah, well, we still have work to do.
Yeah. I think you're lying just because maybe bosses might be watching. Who's the best out of you 3 then, when you play?
Oh, I think Simon's probably best.
Yes, do you think you can cause an upset today, Simon?
Well, I'll try.
Yeah? And what about you, John? Are you any good at it?
Yeah, not bad. Doesn't matter who's at the other keyboard.
Yeah.
It's when you're in there what counts. That's what really counts.
So why are you the best, Simon? What kind of tactics do you use then?
Basically, I'll just be able to kill him.
Yep. Okay.
Fancy ways about it.
All right, that's fine. Well, like a lot of British industry, these guys refuse to work until they finish reading their papers. While they do that, let's go to the news. This is the latest in Sega's violently successful series of Virtua Arcade games. Virtua On is a 2-player game where players control massive robots in a futuristic version of the old gunfight games. If you get close enough to experience your opponent's pits, you can punch his lights out. But it is rib-ticklingly jolly to smack them about with a rocket as they leg it. Virtua On is out next month. The internet is full of sad blokes trying to make friends, and now thousands of people are avoiding any possible rejection by creating electronic mates on a new website. An experiment in artificial intelligence, the Digital Beastie homepage allows you to construct a creature which then has to fend for itself in a specially created world against everybody else's beasties. Thanks to little postcards you'll be sent, you can keep track of its progress as it mates and has fights. I called mine Dominic Diamond. It pulled all the ladies and ate everyone else. Just premiering in the US, Space, Above and Beyond is the latest TV series from the creators of the overrated X-Files. Set in 2163, alien blokes are kicking in Earth, and the only hope is the young Turks who make up the air and space cavalry. Team stars Morgan West and Shane Vanson look uncannily like young versions of Agents Mulder and Scully, and there's cameo appearances just like the X-Files, with Jim from Neighbours appearing in the very first episode.
In the future.
Where's Bouncer? Thankfully his colony gets blown up within seconds in one of the many spectacular sequences that quite literally litter this alien extravaganza. Look out for Space, Above and Beyond quite soon, Mum, because there's lots of burning flags. Now, Gary, Simon and John, the cream of British industry, have taken their positions for our event. Oi, bloke in suit, fancy a fight. They'll be playing against our champion, David Dennis, who is slightly smaller than them, but he does have a fantastic earring. David, what do you like to do when you're not playing Doom against businessmen?
Watch cartoons mostly.
What's your favourite cartoon?
Swap cats.
What exactly is Swap Cats?
There's a big city of cats and bad guys come and like destroy the city. So there's two people who come and rescue the city from the bad guys.
And what do the cats do?
Like fire guns at their planes and blow them up generally.
So it's quite realistic, quite true, real life kind of cartoon.
Yeah.
Then? Yeah. All right, David, what kind of tactics are we going to see from you today?
Well, a fast moving, don't stop, because I might just get shot in the back. So when I open the door, move back and move around.
And all guns blazing, never stopping for a second?
Yeah.
Fantastic aggressive tactics here, David. We'll ask you to hold off just for a second while I go up to the commentary position. And sharing the podium for Deathmatch Doom is PC Review's Rick Henderson. Rick, Deathmatch Doom then, what's the best tactics to use?
Well, on the PM Consultants Network, there's a lot of weapons lying around, so get yourself a big funky weapon as soon as possible. You can't go through life with a pea shooter.
That's true.
Also, don't stand around in large open spaces, because you never know when a businessman's going to come from behind.
Wise words there from Rick. OK, basically, David has to wipe out all three of our fine astute businessmen to emerge victorious. Best of luck, David. Off you go. OK, we're going to be using David's view for this. You will see John, Gary and Simon appear. John will be the green bloke, Gary will be the yellow bloke, Simon will be the black bloke. You can see David's health, 95%, the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. His ammo, the bottom left-hand corner as well. His health's up to 100%. No sign of the other ones yet, though, Rick.
No, he's playing a definite strategy there. He's just picked up some armour, so that will actually stand him in good stead. Now he's going to go and find, outside the building, the chain gun, which will dispatch them much quicker, and a supercharge, which gives him 200% armour and 200% health.
Oh yes, we can see that 200% health there, full whack of armour. Wait, there's that Gatling gun.
There we go, there's the gun. Now all he has to do is go and find them. But the only problem is he's got to stay towards the walls. I don't advise actually walking down the centre.
OK then, so he's fully tooled up now. More than enough bullets, 220 bullets. You can see the weapons and the armoury he's got in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. 220 bullets there. Now he's going hunting for our systems managers.
It is, it's a stalking game, but the door just behind him's just closed, which suggests that someone might be behind there. Probably hiding behind some little dark alley, as businessmen often do, I've heard.
We're still waiting for some top systems manager.
There he goes.
There's a green one. That is John.
He's taken some shots in the back already.
Yes, John, he's got John. Oh, yes, he's pumping his bullets into John there. John's running away.
John's gone.
He doesn't want anything to do with it.
John's
that's
out.
it. John is dead. Bye-bye, John. We're left with Gary, who will appear in yellow, and Simon, who will appear in black.
Now, John's mistake was he just stood next to a wall, but didn't actually turn round. He just stood there looking at it.
Never turn your back to a bloke with a Gatling gun.
Now, these doors are open, which suggests someone has definitely been in this room, because you have to actually open them with a switch that's on the wall.
Oh, there's another one.
Great.
That's Simon. I think that's black. It looks a bit grey in the light, but I think that is black. He's running away. There's
Turn
one.
around and
He's just run
fight,
past
you
him.
coward! Turn around and fight.
Where's he gone? He's lost him.
He's just scarpered.
He's legged it. OK, after a brief skirmish with Simon, then Simon has offed it. And he's just running around, taking in some of the scenery here. So down the stairs David goes. We've got two system managers left. Gary, who'll appear in the yellow. Simon, who'll appear in the black.
Come and fight, you cowards. Come on. Put yourself out in the open. Men or mice.
I just had a squeak there, Rick.
No, they just...
This is yellow, this is Gary.
It's Gary, and Gary's taking it. Gary's
Oh,
taken
Gary! Gary gets told, although he did take some hits there, David. The armour down to 84, health to 157%, but that's still more than enough juice. So he's still hunting for Simon. Simon obviously cowering in some corner.
Maybe go down towards the earlier levels, David. Go down into the basement again. Because he's just in black, he's probably likely to be hiding in the chandelier area.
Or in a shop selling lots of black clothes. It's very tense here. We know somewhere within this level.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
And it's face on face. It's just, oh, he's legged it again.
Run it down the stairs. Get quickly, David. Press down that shift key. Run down those stairs after him.
Those are interesting tactics.
There he goes.
Yes, he's just waiting round the corner for David, isn't he? Then legging it.
A very clever tactic. It's a very clever tactic when you run backwards while firing.
Oh, they're all firing as well. It's a
there he comes.
It's a hit.
Now he's down.
Simon is down with 59% arm and 102% health left. David is the champion. Well done, David. Now, David, you dispatched the suits with consummate ease there. First up was John, wasn't it? John in the green. Tell us how you did away with him.
Well, he must have seen my chain gun and started picking it up the stairs, but not a match for me.
He certainly wasn't. Then we had, who was that kind of yellowy, brownish guy? That was Gary, yeah. What happened with him?
He stood up to me, got a couple of shots in, but just got blown away.
He was beside that big bin thing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Tried to hide behind that, no use at all. Now, Simon was a little bit of a problem, the guy in the black.
Yeah, he used the strategy for running away and just bang, bang. But as I just chased him, keep shooting at him, took it slowly, and just done
So
it.
at the end of the day, was it any problem at all for you?
No problem.
No problem at all. Well, congratulations, David. You have won our special Oi Bloke in Suit Fancy a Fight Gamesmaster Golden Joystick. Money can't buy you love, so the song goes, but it can buy you high-quality pieces of entertainment software, although that would make for a slightly less catchy chorus. Let's see if any of the following games are worth more than the much-mentioned brilliance. In the old days, Belgium didn't exist. Then Tintin arrived and they built the whole country around him. Now the young scamp is on the Super NES.
Hergé's Adventures of Tintin, a little guy who looked a bit like Mark Lamar for the younger members, and had a little dog called Snowy and a friend called Captain Haddock, and he used to run off and get into all sorts of naughty cartoon adventures. Well, this is the game. Admittedly, he's bigger in Europe than he is over here, but how will the SNES game do? Rick Henderson's been playing it madly.
Although it is a platform game outwardly, the variety in levels is fantastic. There are people to ask for clues. You can come in and out of the background. You can swing people up mountains. There is an awful lot to do here, and to be honest, even though it's got that Belgian lunacy about it, it's very good.
In Japan, this game comes with a black gun. Over here, the gun's painted bright blue just so stupid kids don't get confused. It's Virtua Cop on the Saturn.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's come onto the Saturn and once again shows the quality of Sega's arcade range when brought into the home. Also, you get a gun with it, and that can't be bad. There's also various elements like shooting guys in the knees and the elbows, shooting the guns out of them, blowing away barrels, bringing great big pylons down onto cars.
Not only is it arcade perfect, it even has a couple of extra options in the Saturn version that you don't get in the arcades, such as the mirror mode. The mirror mode means that all the enemies are reversed and you can go back through the game with no similarity in where the enemies come from. You also have a training mode, which is a shooting gallery with randomly generated shooting points.
Finally, on the Saturn, Hebereki Popoito, which is Japanese for Why are Dave and Rick wearing shades in the middle of winter?
Hebereki's Popoito? Huh? What on earth is going on? It's basically your Hebereki's Papoon on the SNES, but on the Saturn.
Mean Bean Machine, Pack Attack, Puzzle Bobble, they've all become very popular lately. All these more graphic-y, Tetris-y type games. That's exactly what Hebereki's Popoito is. Trouble is, it's absolutely bonkers.
There's just too much going on screen to actually make a puzzle game work. Puzzle games should put you into a calm state and let you relax, let you get into it gradually. But Hebereki's Popoito throws everything at you at once and you end up getting hit from 1,000 angles.
Coming up after the break, the sequel to the greatest multiplayer game ever, including some top, good-looking American bloke teen band action with E.Y.C. All of this coming up in a few short minutes.